In this lesson, you will learn some special uses of the verb to be. Now, this lesson is for you, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level student. So let's get started. Let's look at the three areas. This one, this one, and this one. Now let's look at the three areas where you might have made a mistake, okay? So the first, in this kind of words like everyone, everybody, someone, somebody, no one, nobody. Now these words, now these are sometimes confusing because especially there, everyone sounds like a lot of people, right? But the way you have to think about it is that in English, everyone is still one and therefore singular. And everyone as a group is still one group. And therefore it's singular, still singular. So with all of this kind of words, we need to use the singular verb is. Everyone is here. Everyone is here. Everyone is here. Everyone is happy. Everyone is studying, whatever, okay? But the main thing is that with all of these words, use the singular verb is, okay? Now let's go to the second category where sometimes students make mistakes. This, that, these, and those. These and that are singular, okay? So they take the verb is. This is lovely. That is lovely. This cake is delicious. These and those are plural. Those laptops are expensive. So they take the plural verb are. These are lovely. Those are lovely, okay? So just keep it in mind if you are talking about one thing or more than one thing. And if it's one thing, then say is. If it's more than one thing, say are. All right? It's too easy. Next, this is probably the most confusing area, and that's because it has to do with something called countable or non-countable or uncountable nouns. What does all that mean? Okay, so let's look. All, most, some, none of. Okay, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's going to follow that. Okay, so if you say none of this information, you should use is. Why? Because information is what we call an uncountable noun. We cannot count it. But here, if we look at this one, all of the reports, you should use are. Reports is a plural noun and it's a countable noun, something we can count. So the countable nouns are plural or singular, depends what we are talking about. Keep it in mind, the uncountable noun like information is always singular. Now, how do you know if a word is countable or uncountable? Well, you can learn that. One of the way you can learn it is you can also download some resources that exist on the internet to know exactly which nouns you can count and which nouns you cannot count in English. And that's important because that issue can cause lots of problem whenever you speak English, even with basic verbs like is and are, with the verb to be, right? Okay. But to give you an example, luggage, a non-countable noun, but suitcases is countable. 1, 2, 3, 4 suitcases. So we would say all of the luggage is here. All of the suitcases are here. Uncountable, countable. Even though mathematics has an S and economics has an S, it's not plural. Okay? So we say mathematics is easy or economics is interesting. The same with languages like French or English. French is useful. English is beautiful. And again, also with a lot of abstract nouns like advice. What do we mean by abstract nouns? They are not talking about physical things, for example, love or advice or education, right? It's not something you can hold in our hands, but it's called abstract, and those are non-countable. So those are singular. This education is valuable. These lessons are valuable. Okay? Countable and non-countable. Non-countable and countable. Okay? So you see that even a simple verb like the verb to be, you still have to understand clearly which one to use, when and how to use it. And now look at this. Most of his advice is useful. Why? Because advice is one of those non-countable noun, right? So therefore we have to make it singular. All right. Now if it said, for example, most of his ideas or most of his suggestions or most of his recommendations, those are all plural. Ideas, suggestions, recommendations. With an S, it means that we can count it. So then it would be most of his ideas are useful. Most of his suggestions are useful, okay? But advice is singular because it's something we cannot count. Yeah, I hope you got those right, but in any case, you can always practice some more. Let's go for a quiz. Everyone is here. Some of the equipment is or are heavy. Equipment is countable. 1, 2, 3 equipment for sports, for example. But it's not plural. So it needs a singular verb. These flowers, lovely. Blank, anybody home? With this kind of words, it takes always singular. All the phone lines, busy. It's a countable noun. 1, 2, 3 phone lines. It's countable. So are. None of this information correct. Information, it's a non-countable noun. So is. Everything is ready. This cake, singular, is delicious. Someone is in the car. No one is at home. Most of his advice is useful. Most of his ideas are useful. Most of his suggestions are useful. All of the luggage, uncountable noun, is here. All of the suitcases, countable, 1, 2, 3 suitcases, are here. I hope you understood the principle behind it, which I hope you've done. And if you like this lesson, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get lots of other useful lessons to help you improve your English very quickly. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.